What's up, YouTube? You know what time it is. The places where your gamers' voices are heard, and your boy Jay is dropping that word. So yeah. What's up, everybody? I just wanted to thank everybody for checking out my content today, especially those of you that's been with me for a cool minute. And yeah, this is my attempt to try to stay in the loop, man. Try to put out more regular content. Even though I'm not back up to my regular capacity, man, I apologize for the quality of my videos. But this is mainly just me trying to just get my thoughts out there for those of you who actually appreciate a voice that's keeping it real and telling it like it is. So yeah, man, I wanted to dig into a subject that, I've been seeing a lot that's really been getting on my nerves, man. And it's this whole, I've been seeing this shift from these industry types talking about PlayStation sales and how phenomenal they are and this and that, man. And I wanted to go ahead and break that down, man, because, it's always interesting, man, the goalpost moving that you see when it comes to whatever the Sony talking points are. It's like when they can't win on power, and that's not what they're talking about. Remember before, in the last generation, it was this all about power. It was all about literally the difference between 1080p and 900p. I'm not even kidding. A difference that you can't even tell with your naked eye. Between the OG or the older original launch Xbox One and the PS4, that, believe it or not, for those of you who don't know, the biggest difference was in some games, not even all games, but some games, the Xbox One version would be 900p and the PS4 version would be 180p. And I'm sorry, 1080p. So that would be that small difference that you really couldn't even tell with your naked eye is meant everything, because this was the argument of, I'm even talking about in Digital Foundry. They would pull this up. That's why it's interesting that they don't really seem to now, all of a sudden, when it comes to PlayStation 5, they don't really care about resolution. They care a lot about frame rate, which is a good thing, because I care about frame rate and pretty much stable frame rates. But I don't really care about, oh my God, the frame rate drops 2 frames in one isolated CGI segment in the game, which you would never notice or never care. Or, oh my God, that one part where you walk through a bunch of blades of grass on the Series X, it drops 1 frame. Like, who gives it? Who's gonna notice that? Get out of here with that retardedness. But this is to what degree they will nitpick anything. But somehow, when it comes to them looking at the Horizon Dawn, the new Horizon Dawn 2 footage that just came out on that state of play, they don't notice pop-in. They don't notice this game is not running at 4K 60. None of that. They don't notice any of that stuff. It's just a beautiful game, right? But I digress. I'm not even gonna get into that. This is more about PlayStation sales, man. So I don't want to get off track. But these type of things is really, man, just annoy me, man, because honestly, really what it's about is disparity across the board. Hey, if you're going to scrutinize one, you need to scrutinize the other in the same way. It's just about that. It's just about having the integrity to say, look, if I look at it from that point of view, hey, I need to look at it from all those point of views and look at the facts of the matter, right? And that brings me back to the sales, man. Let me get back on track. But yeah, man, I was thinking when it comes to these sales, man, and when you really start to put it into perspective, the real reason why you're seeing, these crazy sales just in general is a couple of different factors that doesn't seem to be put into perspective by a lot of these Sony talking points that a lot of these industry YouTubers are using, man. They will tell you, guys like Dustin would tell you, oh my God, PlayStation is doing greater than they've ever did before. It's astounding. And oh my God, this gushing all over it. And the fact is, yeah, you could say the same thing for Xbox. They're breaking records, and this at the same time of how many consoles they're selling. It's just because, just like PlayStation, these consoles are being sold out immediately. It's not like they're hitting, either one of them are hitting store shelves. They're being sold immediately. So that tells you both Sony and Microsoft are selling every console that they can make. So that tells you it's not really about demand, it's about supply. And who can make the most consoles, they're going to sell the most consoles. It's as simple as that. This is simple math, simple logic, shouldn't be complicated. So all this about sales, it's just absurd. And here's where it gets even more ridiculous. Think about this. Put this into perspective. The sales right now are dramatically being manipulated by scalpers. Think about this. Scalpers more than likely make up at least 50% of these consoles being sold. Meaning, before you're able to even buy a console, more than likely a scalper has already snatched up a bunch of them before people like you and me could even get our hands on it. So that tells you that the price, or not the price, but the sales themselves are, and when it comes to demand, is inflated by scalpers manipulating the market. As they buy more consoles, the market, obviously more people like you and me may refuse to buy these outlandish increased prices, right? I mean, who wants to be spending $200, $300, $400, $500 beyond what the retail price is? I mean, think about it. A lot of us will just wait, right? Well, what does that do? That increases the demand, right? And it also makes the demand for the console longer, because the longer people don't get a console, obviously the longer people are waiting and want to still get one. That's going to artificially increase the demand, because scalpers continue to keep buying these consoles. And that's going to continue to get worse as we get into the holiday seasons, right? So to act like with the market being manipulated by scalpers, with the fact that both of these consoles are being sold out and not even hitting store shelves, and it's like, why would anyone be talking about numbers and how great the numbers is? Because we know for a fact those numbers, it's not like all those Sony PlayStations or all those PlayStation 5s that are sold are sitting in someone's house and people are playing them. No, as a matter of fact, damn near probably close to half of them are sitting in some closet somewhere, and it's still in a box, waiting to be sold to someone at a higher price. Meanwhile, this fool is acting like these are all PlayStations that are in the wild, and PlayStation 5s that are sold to people in the wild. That's what the impression he would give, as if that's what it is. And in fact, in actuality, that's not even the case at all. But this is the problem I have with guys like this. And again, this Dustin guy, I'm name dropping him. I normally don't do this, but I am in this case, because this guy is he was an IGN guy. I can't stand IGN anyway. And he's also, I think he's fair game. This guy, I'm not saying he's a bad guy, because of course he'll be doing another video talking about how great Xbox is for whatever thing that he may be excited about with Xbox. So I don't even think this is necessarily malicious. I just think it's the industry. You know what I mean? It's the mainstream. It's the mainstream to say ridiculous things like that and not dig into the facts of things. And this guy is obviously caught up in the industry mainstream, being a guy that's from IGN. All they are is industry mainstream BS, right? So I think it's like when you don't take a time to actually think for yourself, and you just adhere to whatever the industry or the mainstream is telling you, instead of like actually think about what you're saying and think about how, is that factual? Let me do research on that and really see if that really makes sense. You'll be saying the same stupid bullshit, talking about, PlayStation sales and shit, and then not even actually dig into it and look and see, well, no, there's a reason to why those sales are happening. And maybe at this point in time, it doesn't make a lot of sense to be talking much about sales, because it's pretty insignificant, because we can't judge or determine how many of those consoles are really going in people's houses necessarily, right? And even if they were, okay, we know, well, you could say the same thing about Xbox. It's the same thing. They're both being sold out. And also, Xbox has many different avenues beyond just their console sales that they bring people into their ecosystem. Unlike PlayStation. PlayStation only has the PS5. Xbox is going to have the console, PC, mobile devices, you know what I mean? And soon, damn near your TV and your browser. I mean, they're going for everything except PlayStation, so that you could play Xbox games on. So it's pretty astounding. Like, it's pretty crazy how many avenues that you could enter into the Xbox ecosystem, and it's just pretty amazing to see, you know, a business model that actually tailors to, you know, the consumer in so many variety of ways. So yeah, man, I just wanted to dig into that. You know, at the end of the day, you know, when these guys say this stuff, man, dig into things yourself, see where the facts are. Anybody sitting there talking about sales right now, you're a little ahead of yourself. Calm the hell down. You know, this guy's sitting here talking about, oh, well, I don't know if Xbox is going to be able to catch up to that. Like, you're ridiculous. Catch up to what? You're ridiculous. Like, it's actually the other way around. If you really think some little console sales in the first generation is going to mean anything, over something like Game Pass and over something like, you know, once people start really, instead of just being brainwashed by this thinking, well, PlayStation is the only option, when people start really looking and seeing what Xbox has to offer, they 9 times out of 10 choose Xbox. So that opportunity hasn't came to tuition yet, because think about it, most people can't get their hands on Xbox right now, right? Like, you know, you got to think, like, we have to have time for people to actually be able to have the Xbox be available on store shelves. Because remember now, that's where most of the, especially casuals, are going to be buying their console, right? They're not like us, where we're just like refreshing the page online to, you know, when it comes up, or looking at tweets and when the Twitter alerts come up. No, most casuals ain't doing all that. They ain't got time for all that. They just like, well, I'll just wait until where I can get at the store. And that's, you know, most moms and pops and all of that, that's going to be buying these consoles, all the casual people, which makes up for more than 80% of the gaming market. Those people ain't clued in yet, right? So Xbox still has plenty of time to show people it's the best platform in regards to value for gamers investment, right? We still got an E3 that's coming, where a lot of casuals are going to be cluing in on that, either at the E3 or after, and be able to see the amazing content that's coming out for Xbox. So to be talking about PlayStation, Xbox, I don't know if they can catch up, it's just absurd. You know what I mean? Like, dude, things just started. Calm the fuck down. You know what I mean? But this is the type of hyperbole and, you know, sensationalism you're gonna see in these industry YouTubers. You know what I mean? Where all it's about is clicks for them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about keeping it real, telling like it is. It's this industry bullshit that you're gonna get from them. And that's really why I try to keep my channel going, man, and really try to be out here as a voice of truth and keeping it real. And I challenge anybody, if you have something you disagree with any of my points I'm making, especially any of the facts that I'm saying, and you think, well, that's not a fact as far as I'm concerned, hey, hit me up in the comment box, man. You know, I don't have no problem having it out with you, letting you know. If there's something you disagree, and if you right, hey, I'll say, hey, you know, I'll do a video on you. Check out my other videos. I've done videos on people that, hey, I'll speak their opinion. There's a reason why I say gamers voices are heard, and that's even gamers I don't agree with. So if you got a valid point and it could be a discussion where I can learn something, I'm good. Let's go. You know what I mean? Because I think it's always something we can all learn from each other. And that's always about keeping an open mind. So, yeah, man, that's going to be my video on that, man. I don't want to drown this one out, be too long. Just wanted to, you know, ask that the real reason why, you know, Sony sales numbers is what it is. It's about the scalpers, and, you know, that's, you know, and it's about supply. That's pretty much it, what it comes down to. So to talk about numbers way too early, calm the hell down. And that's what y'all should say to anybody that wants to sit here and talk about sales numbers at this point in time. It's just absurd. All right, man. I'm gonna be out here, man. I'm gonna check y'all later. I really appreciate for any of you guys listening to my content, man. For any of those that you are new, or those of you that are new, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, man. I'm gone.